In this video I'm gonna show you how I turned pallets and broken skateboards into this. I'm gonna sell this in the end of the video. Best offer.
Mikko, sun 3 viivatin jäi.
Kiitos. Welcome to Build It Yourself YouTube channel. My name is Mikko and today we're gonna build a coffee table out of pallet wood and broken skateboards. I would like to thank Franz from Silky Skateboards for donating these beautiful skateboards. You might think it's a brilliant idea to use pallet wood because it's free, but it's not really my idea. I follow 2 YouTube channels, Jesper Makes and Daner Made. This is my first time building with pallet wood. I am a professional carpenter, but I wanted to try this. First we're gonna tear down the pallets, and a good tool for it is a crowbar. I don't have a jointer, so I'm gonna run these through the thickness planer and keep them as thick as I can. Blind carpenter can't see the scale without the phone. How thick is that? It's 19. Let's do this. Thickness planer is easy to use. You just use the crank to get the right thickness. You should not try to cut more than 3 millimeters with the thickness planer. And this one has 2 speeds. I like to use the slower speed because the quality of the cut is better. I'm going to cut this in 30 millimeter slices and glue them together. I don't have a table saw yet, so this will have to do today. Hopefully I sell some of this furniture so I can buy a good table saw. I will make myself a workbench, but till I'm done with that, this will have to do. I'm gonna make the legs out of these bad boys, and I'm gonna glue them up like this. And that's enough wood to make 2 legs each. It's gonna be great. I used way too much glue here. Like a quarter of that would be enough. But yeah. Now we're gonna make a very low budget track saw. Actually, we're not gonna make the saw, but the track. And I'm gonna use that track to slice up the skateboards. If it's this long, it's enough. The best tools are free tools. Thank you, Fiskars. Keeps itself sharp. There's a sharpening here. To make the track saw, all we need is this and some glue. This is a track saw just for this job. That is so straight. When we cut this, we can use this as a guide. So it's gonna be super straight. This should hold enough. It's just a jig, so as long as it doesn't break. I'm gonna heat this grip tape up so I can peel it off, hopefully. What? That was so hot. It's a project. This see-through grip tape is a lot easier to take off. It's like peeling a banana. Have to warm it up more. Someone tried to make skateboards out of birch, but it's not as sturdy as maple. This is 100% maple. I don't use wood decks anymore. My deck is half maple, half secret ingredients. No, it's carbon fiber. Yeah, it was pain in my ass, but it's done now. Beautiful colors here. Oh yes. The other decks, they have yellow, blue and yellow. Kind of like Sweden. I only use skateboard decks for the colors. When you slice this in thin slices and glue the slices together, it's gonna be like a rainbow. This one's so much easier than the other one. All done. Nice. This one's green on the bottom and the top is green also. But the middle is blue. It's gonna look great. All right, this is ready. So I didn't put glue on the middle. It doesn't look like that's gonna be the legs, but once I rip it in half, it looks like it. Now we got legs. Let's go running. I will cut the skateboard in 3 pieces, just behind these holes. The concave is about the same in the middle, but it changes here, so I can't really use this part for anything. Maybe the nose and tail. Damn, this is gonna be so nice. Now I'm gonna cut this into 5mm strips. I should have two-sided tape for this. I don't have it, but look how nice this is. It is so nice. I'm gonna put some masking tape on the bottom so it's not so hard and slippery. I'm gonna use this as a measurement. Oh, it's pretty good. I'm gonna use my new clamps to glue this together. Carpentry gives me a lot of time to think about other stuff like skateboarding, snowboarding. Maybe I should build stuff with recycled snowboards. It's a super bad idea. Okay, the glue is cured. So the pencil was stuck. Pretty good. It's straight. I'm gonna flatten this with the thickness planer. Oh yeah, I forgot. It's too wide. Slower speed equals better quality. I used 180 long level for straightening the edge. If you don't have straight edges when you glue stuff together, it won't work. So here I used 180 long. I used power saw with the level as a guide. I'm gonna use 4 dowels to glue this back together so it stays in place. I have a dowel jig. I ordered this from Temu, the cheap Chinese store. I actually have a bunch of stuff from there. I watched a video called "Are All the Tools Bad in Temu?" And the guy in the video showed me some okay stuff from Temu. I have never tried this before, but I'm sure it's gonna work. This is from Temu too. A tiny little square. I bought this so I can check that the table saw blade is squared. It's easier to do with a smaller square. I'm not even gonna measure where the dowels are placed. It's amazing how small it is. If I'm not wrong, I paid €3 for this bag of sock. I like this jig. It automatically centers itself, so you can't go wrong. All you have to worry is the distance this way. Self-centered bastard. Okay, let's measure how big this is gonna be. 74. 74 minus 2 times 64.5. 63. I don't want the legs to be in the edge of the tabletop. It would look stupid. 63 minus 5. 58. Perfectly square. All the way up here. Holes are so close together. I'm gonna move this 5 millimeters down, and this is 5 millimeters. This is probably not the best jig there is, but it works. Using dowels is the easiest way to do joints without screws. You can use pocket hole screws, but I never tried it, and carpenters should not use screws. I was surprised how good that sander was. It works with air pressure, so you need a compressor for that. Only bad thing is that the compressor is loud. Wood glue and sawdust always works. I tried to glue it like that, but it doesn't work because the pressure is on the wrong place, so it's not square anymore. I used double-sided tape on my track saw, or whatever jig that is, and it worked pretty good. It was really hard to keep them same thickness when you don't have a fence as a reference, so that's why table saw or band saw would be perfect for that. I'm gonna glue this together on a thin masonite. I think I should screw a straight piece here and glue the first one. I have a whole lot of epoxy. I'm gonna use this to glue this together. I saved a lot of money because the next biggest epoxy was a liter and a half, and it was 60 euros. Maybe someday I'll buy that. This is supposed to be pretty quick, so I have to be quick too. I used the clamps to glue it. It didn't work as good as I thought it would. Because the slices were different sizes, I had to sand it down for so long, and it still wasn't really flat, but it looks pretty good. I'm going to finish the frame with water-based staining varnish. This is transparent. These are from Temu. I think they cost under 3 euros. I can dry it like this or like this. So here I have two-sided tape, these slabs, and I'm gonna try to plane these. I think it's gonna work, and if it does, I'm grateful. big decoration I'm gonna make with the skateboard pieces. I think it should be at least this big. So let's measure it. 18 and 36. 36 centimeters. 18. And a half. 124, 123, exactly. Middle. 102 and a half millimeters. This is where it is. It's gonna be like that. The pinks are gonna be this way, the blue ones are gonna be this way. It'll be great. Okay, let's make this square. That looks so nice. I could eat it. I cut this upside down to make a cleaner cut because the blade spins this way. Now I'm gonna use a router to make a hole for the squares. I'm gonna be using a guide. This router has a normal base, like this, and a plunge base, which means I can limit the depth with this thing right here. So when I plunge it in, it's gonna stop here. That way you can do really accurate cuts. So I'm gonna use this as a guide. I'm gonna go a little bit deeper than I should. Okay, this is too deep. Okay, it's perfect. Let's do this. I'm gonna take a bigger router bit and carve it from the middle to the outline, because if I start from the outline, you know what's gonna happen. I have no support for the router when I go to the center if I start from the outline. I'm gonna take this one. It's huge. First time with this router, I took a little bit too big bit, so I had to tape the speed adjustment. It was pretty hard to cut these even squares. They were 6 by 6 centimeters. That's a bit too small to cut it with a speed square. When I used the router, this bolt fell off from the vibration. So there's a little bit of a hole here. I filled it out with wood glue and sawdust. And I'm gonna sand it down with 80 grit sandpaper. This way I don't have to make a whole new tabletop. I'm gonna use a chisel to sharpen these corners. These are not perfect squares, so I have to try different variations to see how they fit here the best. I'm going to glue this together with epoxy. And if there's little holes here and there, wood glue and sawdust. There's a hole here because there was a knot, and I'm going to drill a hole 20 millimeters and put this in it with some glue. I bought this bag for like a couple of euros, so I don't have to make these. You can actually make these with a special kind of drill bit. I'm gonna put some masking tape. This was a lot easier to peel off than the grip tape. All right, we're gonna put a clear coating on this. It's the same stuff, but it's clear. It's gonna bring these colors look deeper. So this was my first pallet project. I promised to sell this beautiful piece, and you can bid on the comment section. Starting price is 200 euros. The auction is closing at noon next Friday. I hope you win. If you didn't get this one at the sale, you can contact me and I will make you something similar. But not the exact same thing, because I like things to be authentic, unique, you know?